What's up everybody, welcome back to another video on my channel. My name is Dion and you're watching Reptiliatus. Friends, today is a very important day. I'm going to be taking all the new red-eyed crocodile skinks over to Campus Estates Animal Hospital to be seen by Dr. Brown, who's going to check on them because we have some serious concerns about how a few of them are doing. I have a few animals that seem to be doing alright. Not going to take any chances with that. They're all going in to see him and hopefully we'll learn something about their condition and find out how we can treat the few that are not doing well. So, let's round up all the crocodile skinks. But first I want to say, if you're new here, I make videos about specialty pets such as reptiles, amphibians, and different kinds of cool invertebrates. So if that's something you're interested in learning about, definitely consider subscribing down below and then dinging that little notification bell afterwards so that you don't miss any of my future uploads, because I post videos every Tuesday and Friday. Okay everybody, so I have some containers here. The first thing we're going to do is put some paper towel in them and then just spray it down, and then we'll get each animal out. Okay, we got one packaged up. Friend here, okay, I got you. Alright everybody, we have the croc skinks ready to roll in here. It's time to head to the vets. I also want to take a quick moment to thank my patrons over on Patreon for making videos like this possible. Despite the fact that anyone deciding to own a pet should know that they need to be able to absorb the financial responsibility or burden of taking their animals to the vet, which I'm fully capable of doing, I really appreciate the support that my patrons offer me and this channel and my animals, because it also allows for these types of visits to become more financially flexible. So know that your contributions are supporting the animals in this way, and it really means a lot to me and certainly them as well. So thank you. Okie dokie. Just arrived at Campus Estates Animal Hospital, and time to give them a phone call, let them know we're here with the 6 crocodile skinks. And I guess we'll just cross our fingers and really hope for good things when we hear back from Dr. Brown after the appointment. Okay guys, so the skinks have now been dropped off for their appointment. We have about 30-40 minutes before we have to pick them up. So what we're gonna do now is actually go and pick up a small gift for Dr. Brown to show him my appreciation for all the work he does, not just with my animals, but the fact that he's been so generous with his time and filmed the appointments, because as you all know, due to the pandemic, we're not able to go in with our patients, with our pets. Yeah, it's just so generous of him. So want to make sure he knows how much he's appreciated as a veterinarian for my animals. So I know for a fact that Dr. Brown loves coffee. Okay guys, so I just got Alec a little card and wrote him a little something. I gotta say, my writing is terrible. You know, I don't want to conform to stereotypes, but a few friends of mine have always said, you know, you should have been a doctor because of the chicken scratcher. I didn't get it. But alas, I tried to write this on my lap, which made it 10 times worse. And then, so basically, I got him some Pangea formula with insects because he breeds Lygodactylus williamsi, the electric blue day geckos. It's actually really wonderful that he's doing that, and he's had a lot of success. And we just got him some of his favorite coffee. So, there you go, brother. Thank you so much.
Hi there, my name is Alec, or Dr. Brown. We're taking a look at a bunch of crocodile skinks today. So I think we have about 6 of them, and Diane was worried about 2 in particular. I think we've seen 2 that are fairly thin, and those are the 2 that I'd be the most worried about as well. So generally what we'll do is just a physical exam to start off, see if we can find any abnormalities that might explain any kind of specific changes in them, and then from there we can go on to maybe some diagnostics or treatments. We've already talked a little bit about them, and I think for all of them, because we know they're wild caught, we'd recommend doing some deworming on them. So we'll probably do a couple of medications, which are usually pretty cheap, somewhere around the $20 to $40 range, even for a bunch of skinks like this. So we'll take out this one. I always use a towel because it seems to make the lizards, the animals, feel a little bit more safe and secure, kind of like they're hiding, and then it's an easier visit for them and they don't get as stressed out the next time, and it stops them from biting me. These guys, we wouldn't worry too much about them because they're so small, but we don't like it. So general things, we'll look at the whole body shape to see if there's any asymmetry, any lumps or bumps, any broken or missing toes or legs. I think in this guy we do see there's a missing toe in the front. Yeah, 2 of them on the front. You can see that in the post. And so that it doesn't really tell us a whole lot about right now, but it can tell us about kind of a history of what's going on. A lot of the time, if they're kind of in rougher situations, animals can lose toes or tails or feet, and being wild caught I think would be pretty suspicious of that for these guys. So I wouldn't expect it's anything that we'd want to treat today, just gonna be a general idea. If a lizard came in and it had always been in captivity and we saw missing toes or tails, then I get a bit more worried about things like husbandry of hydration and humidity, if they're housed with another animal and they shouldn't be, that kind of stuff. Overall, I think this one's looking okay. It's a bit thin, so it is one of the ones that I'd expect he's worried about, and I think we'll want to do a little bit more for it than the other ones. But aside from those missing toes, we look pretty uniform. Another important thing is to look on their belly. If we have something called the septic blush, then we get quite worried about them. So in that case, we see little pink areas of splotching. I don't see any here. I was worried about it based on the photos, but I think this is just the normal color of these guys. So I mean, in general, there's nothing specific for this guy, just kind of poor doing or ill thrift. And so with a wild-caught animal, especially after shipping or any changes, then I'd wonder about a parasite burden, and then during stress those parasites can really explode. The lizard's body isn't working as well, the immune system is compromised, and then the parasites can kind of take over, and from there we can get a sick animal. And so we'll treat for our parasites now that we know they're pretty well hydrated. And then for the 2 that are looking the sickest, I might recommend some antibiotics as well. I'll put it back in there. The antibiotics would be to prevent septicemia, which can cause the septic blush that I was looking for. So I'm glad that we don't see it now, but if they have any localized infections, like in the GI tract, for example, then that can progress to being pretty serious, and that's why we see a lot of reptiles die, unfortunately. So we'll probably do, for the 2 guys that aren't eating very well and have a lower weight, some antibiotics. And for everybody, I'd recommend deworming. Pretty common, almost inevitable for wild-caught animals or animals that have spent any time in the wild to have some kind of parasite in there. Generally though, pretty easy to give, just twice or so, and around $40 per medication, because they're much smaller than a dog or a cat, but I think important in this case. Another really important aspect of the physical, especially in snakes, is to look inside their mouth. I've been having a lot of trouble looking at these guys' mouths, as I think Diane has mentioned before. They're just so strong, and they don't fall for the trick. Sometimes if you catch a lizard in the wild, if you cover up their eyes, they'll open their mouth, and that's the easiest way. It doesn't seem to work that way in captivity, because the animals are so used to being handled. These guys, they wouldn't open their mouth. I'm gonna put my hands on their eyes. And so we're just kind of sneaking in. I don't think it's worth it to put too much pressure and actually damage the teeth in these cases, but I can just look at the gums very slightly and check for petechiation, which is like little red spots. And that's another sign of the potential septicemia, which is a pretty common consequence to any sort of reptile disease. But these ones all looked pretty good, despite how difficult it was to get in there.
All right, everybody, so we have the crocodile skinks. We've got the medication now. Let's go back home and assess the plan of treatment and everything that needs to be done, because let me tell you, there's a lot that's going to be going on with a few of these animals. For today's question of the day, I'd like to ask you all if you have any reservations pertaining to taking your pet reptiles to see a vet. If so, what are they? And let us all know in the comment section down below. Alternatively, if you want to share some words on why you think it's incredibly important to take your animals to the vet, feel free to do so as well. As always, I'll give your comment a heart and we can engage in a little bit of a conversation. Awesome. Okay, everybody, so here are the 6 crocodile skinks. We have them all labeled here by Dr. Brown, and this is their weight in grams. So this animal here is 18 grams, this animal here is 12 grams, and so on and so forth. Now there are a few individuals that were of particular concern. This here is Nova, the white-eyed crocodile skink, She is doing really well. As you can see, she's alert, plump, weighs 16 grams, but this species is smaller than the others, and she is looking great, like I said, and he had no concern over her. So we'll just put her back into her enclosure like we were planning. However, you'll see that there are two animals that he kind of gave a tag to, and they are significantly lighter than the rest. As you can see, this animal weighs 18 grams. This one here weighs 28 grams. So these two crocodile skinks, as he discussed in his clips, the concern for sepsis, septicemia, we are going to be administering some antibiotics. So first of all, if you have a phobia to needles, please, skip ahead here. I'm gonna tell you the timestamps. You can skip ahead of this part. So we're gonna have to give subcutaneous injections to those two skinks to ensure that they don't have an infection. So these are gonna be going right in the freezer, but we're gonna take our first 2 doses out now because we have to inject the animals. As you can see, we're going to be administering the medication every 3 days for 5 treatments. Then we have, this is the metronidazole, and this medication here is one of the anti-parasite medications we're going to be administering to all the skinks. And this one is given to each skink by mouth today and in 48 hours, and then we're done. So we have to give all the skinks this medicine as well. Then we have the last medication, which is good old Panicure. This is diluted to the proper concentration for the animals. Please give each skink this much by mouth once today and again in 10 days, and then we're done. So exciting stuff, friends. The animals are all getting medicated. All right, let's go ahead and do that now. I really want to minimize the amount of stress they experience, so we're gonna try and get this done very quickly. Okay, so they put a little bit of air in there because when the liquid freezes, obviously it expands. So that air has been placed into the syringe just to allow for expansion to occur. Just want to make sure all the medication's down there, and I'll start by forcing out air. Again, friends, if you are queasy about needles, please refrain from watching this part of the clip. And there we go. 1 dose. Lastly, as we saw, we're going to be treating every single animal with the metronidazole and Panicure. To make the experience the least stressful possible, I prepared all doses for each animals ahead of time so that I could quickly administer each medication to each animal and put them right back into their enclosures. It's gonna be okay. Because we're using the same guitar pick for each animal to open their mouths, I did try to use alcohol swabs to clean and disinfect it each time, and then it was patted down after air drying to ensure that it was just extra clean again. You're okay. You're okay. Right, one more. Open wide. See, that's what I like, when they cooperate like that. Can we even just do it like that? Okay. There we go. One more. There we go. Hold on. That wasn't so bad, huh? Yeah, you're okay. Let's get you back home. No worries. Alright, little buddy. Come on. Go. Get the pick out of there, and Panicure is fall behind. And there we go. There we go. These guys really can freeze up. It's kind of scary. Okay, friend. Oh, you're okay. You're okay, big boy. I'm gonna put you home now. Okay, let's get the pick out of there. One more. It's okay. Just one more. There. All done. All done, sweetie. Okay, everybody, the last little skink is sweet little Nova. Hi, Nova. All right. It's okay, girl. You're okay. You're okay. Yep. It's okay. One more and we're done, okay? Yep. There we go. There. Was that so bad? I think it was, to be honest. Well, friends, I sincerely hope you enjoyed watching today's video on the Project Mini Dragon update. I feel some sort of relief that we're going to take the next step in the treatment and acclimation of these beautiful little animals. And I want to take the time again to thank Dr. Brown for not only providing some footage for this video, but for his dedication in treating these animals as well. If you guys enjoyed watching today's video and you want to see more videos pertaining to the importance of taking your animals to the vet when necessary, check out my playlist up above here to see more videos that have to do with reptiles and herpetological medicine. Thanks so much for watching, and I can't wait to see you guys all on Tuesday. Take care, everybody. Have an awesome weekend.